Welcome back to the Dog Bowl food truck. So I was about to just do what I normally do, where I just start recording right when I'm back to where we were. But if you'll notice, the menu music is a little different, and that's because when I was tabbing that in and out to check on things, I accidentally clicked on the lake. And it's all the CGs I've got so far. Oh my. Secrets are so fun. Secrets, won't you tell me one? Oh my god. Is it a slideshow? Oh. Oh my god. It's all the music, too. I think I like this one most. So let's go back to the one that activated my neurons. So wow, what a accidental discovery.
Hi.
There's more? Why does TJ have... Huh? This might just be the episode now, because what is this? What the fuck? What makes a good date? Chase told me dinner and a... We're not playing as Chase. Are we playing as Leo? Personally, I felt like having the dinner half the date and at my house would have been really nice. I mean, it's cleaner than any restaurant you might find in Peyton, and my mom's a great cook. Still, I can tell by the way Heather has her head down that she's really unhappy. I feel a sort of sinking feeling in my chest. It sort of set the mood for the night so far. Mom drives us to the movie theater and I start to get restless, noticing how late we are. The movie is supposed to be really good and it takes place in space, which is my favorite. Mom tells me not to worry though, since previews usually fill the first 15 minutes. Finally we park and I hop out and I hold the door open for Heather. Wait, Carl dated Heather! I notice that she's taking her time getting out, so I wait for her as Mom goes to get the tickets. This is Heather. Why is your mom coming? Her voice is a whisper. I reach out to shut the door, but she does it herself, a little harder than she needed to. I stand there for a second, not sure what to say. Oh my god, it's TJ! Oh my god! This is TJ's perspective? Stunlocked Husky, oh my god. What the... Well, it's really hot out. Staying in the car would be too... Never mind. Heather stalks ahead of me and I feel that sinking feeling again. Hang on, I better actually use TJ's voice this whole time. It's only now hitting me that bringing Mom was a bad idea. Not that I told her to come, Mom sort of just invited herself. Also, apologies, I was recording other stuff. Let me get back to my rope. Scooch on the couch, scooch, there we go. Chase gave me a bunch of tips on how to make the date go well, but He never said anything about parents. Maybe it was so obvious that he didn't think he had to tell me. That, though, just makes me shrink into myself even more, and I can feel my face starting to get hot. I push my paws into my pockets and follow after her, trying to keep my ears upright. Mom's really nice and sits about 5 rows behind us, but Heather still seems pretty angry about it. She keeps moving her sitting position, folding her arms and making pouting faces. Each time she sighs, I feel myself cringe just a little bit more inside, and now I can't even focus on the movie. After about 30 minutes, she adjusts her sitting position again and knocks some popcorn into my lap. I lean over to her, whispering, "What's wrong?" She shrugs, keeping her eyes on the movie. I lean back in my seat, again trying to keep my ears up, especially with Mom behind us. The drive back home was pretty awkward. Mom goes on and on about the movie and what she thought of it, which is fine because I can tell Heather isn't in the mood to talk, and I have no idea what to say. As we drive back into Echo, Mom looks back at us. "All right, Heather, would you like me to drop you off at your house?" Actually, me and TJ wanted to talk about a few things. Would it be alright if I stayed over for a little while longer? Sure thing! I look over at Heather, but she doesn't look back at me. I have no idea what she's talking about, and I think I'd rather not find out. There's nothing I can do, though, so when we pull over in the driveway, I quietly get out and follow Heather into the house. "How's the movie?" He says it without looking up from the TV. "Oh, it was great, Mr. Hess. Really cool." She's using that weird, sweet voice she puts on for my parents. Yeah, a lot of fun." I follow after her. Good. He doesn't even try to sound interested as he keeps watching the hockey game. Heather's already sitting on my bed when I walk through the doorway. She's got her legs crossed, paws resting back behind her head. I stand there awkwardly trying to figure out what to do as she just sits there and doesn't say anything. Did you want to listen to some music? I turn to my dresser, grabbing my small stack of CDs and shuffling through them. I skip over the Christian rock albums, feeling my ears burn a little at the thought of her seeing those. I end up picking out a Cherry Loom album my dad gave me a few years ago when he was trying to get me into classic rock. Heather still hasn't said anything, and I feel myself sweating a bit as I put the CD in and I turn it down low. Finally, I turn around and see that Heather hasn't moved from her spot on the bed. She's just been watching me the whole time. I twitch an ear and scratch behind my head, laughing to cover my nervousness. What's up? She gestures with her hand towards the doorway. Shut the door. Okay. I know my mom would probably get mad, but I do it anyway, trying to close it as softly as possible so my parents don't hear. That's when I hear the bed squeak behind me. I turn around and Heather is right in front of me. Oh! I jump back and bump against the door. Heather giggles and moves closer, and I can feel her breath on my face. She reaches out and presses her paws on my waist, then slides them up, pushing up my shirt, her paws on my bare fur now. Oh wow, okay, I have no idea what to say or what to do. Heather just giggles at me again, pressing her fingers through the fur into my skin, and I can feel her paw pads against me. I look down and see that she has my shirt pushed up above my belly button, and she's starting to rub at the white fur that's been exposed. No one's ever touched me like this before, and I know I'm supposed to like it, but I don't. It's almost like I've jumped into ice cold water and now I can't breathe. I open my mouth and I think I'm about to ask her to hold on, but that's when she kisses me. It's awkward and her bottom lip presses up against my teeth while she pushes me back, banging my head against the door. I can taste the butter from the popcorn still on her lips. She huffs into my mouth excitedly as she pulls me away from the door, then pushes me down on the bed. Wait, Heather. My voice is quiet as she pushes me all the way down so I'm flat against the bed, my legs dangling off the side. She's really excited and it kind of scares me, her eyes wide and her breathing coming in loud huffs. I grab at her waist as she pushes my shirt up again, but this time she does it all the way to my neck. She leans down and I gasp as she presses her cold nose against my stomach. She's so confident about what she's doing. Has she done this before? She nuzzles her lower, then presses a paw against my crotch. I sit up fast and push her back. Heather, let's stop. I quickly push my shirt back down. Heather stares at me, then awkwardly stands back up, folding her arms. You weren't enjoying it? I kept pretending to adjust myself, having no clue about what I should say. No, it was okay. I'm not ready is all. I know that sounds really cliche, but it's the truth. I finally lose the battle of my ears, and they tilt off to the sides of my head as Cherry Loom plays softly in the background. Alright, I should probably get going anyway. But she doesn't move. She stands there like she's waiting for something. I'm still too stunned to really know what to say. Do you need a ride home? That's the best I can manage. She sighs again before turning to the door. No, it's alright. It's only a few minutes away. See you on Monday. Okay. I get up and awkwardly walk her to the door, but she's already gone. I sit there on the bed for a while, hearing the rumble of my dad's voice for a bit before I hear the front door open and close. Then I hear some footsteps up the stairs and my mom sticks her head around the doorframe. Everything okay? Why aren't you walking her home? I am. She told me she wanted to walk alone. I feel my ears droop lower. Oh, alright. Mom's about to leave, but then she pokes her head back around the doorframe. Well, your father and I are watching TV. Why don't you come down and join us? That actually sounds nice, and my ears perk up a little. Sure, I'll be there in a minute. Okay. She smiles at me before pulling back from the doorframe. I watch the doorway for another minute, then sigh and lay back again. I cover my face with both paws, rubbing my forehead. I'm so bad with this stuff. Why did I even try? That's when my phone buzzes and I take it out to see a text. Am I about to get phone jump scared? Okay, brace for the phone. Okay, no phone. How was the date? From Chase. I stare at it for a second, then on a whim press the call button with my thumb. He picks up after the second ring. Hey, biatch. Your date over already? Hey, Chase. What's up? I can hear him adjust the phone, and his voice drops the lisp. I hear Leo's voice in the background, muffled. That DJ? I start to massage the bridge of my nose, closing my eyes again against the room's light. Yeah, the date's over. It was okay, I guess. Are you asking me? How was it? I wait a while, listening to the noise, to white noise on the other end. I can hear some music in the background. I wonder if they're in Leo's car. Chase, how did you know you were gay? There's a silence on the other end before I hear a burst of laughter. I flatten my ears, feeling my face blush all over again, and I don't say anything, though, and just wait for him to get it out of his system. What did he say? Leo sounds really close now, like his muscles right up against Chase's. I hear some more adjusting of the phone going on before Chase finally responds. Sorry, I just didn't expect that. Are you on your computer? Yeah. I get off my bed and walk over to my desk, waking up my computer. Okay. Go to the website Thick Fur. I type it into the URL and press enter. Immediately a buff fox with no clothes on pops up. He's got his paws on his privates and he's sort of pushing them up. There are a bunch of other pictures too, but I don't have time to process them as I jump and close the browser. I dart my eyes behind me, half expecting to see Mom and Dad staring around the corner, their eyes wide in horror. Chase! So, are you hard? What? No! Then you probably aren't gay, TJ. You like looking at boobs, don't you? I pause. Well... Wait a minute, don't you? Well, not really, I guess. This isn't you being all Christian, right? No, I'm fine with this stuff. I just haven't really given it much thought, I guess. I guess you could be an asexual. Be asexual? Leo, stop it. I can hear the phone getting bumped around again, and I think I know what's going on. What are you guys talking about? His voice is playfully accusatory, and I can hear some more shuffling with the phone. I assume Chase tries to move it away from the wolf. Alright, TJ, I'd better get going. I'll talk to you more about this on Monday, okay? Okay. Later, Tej. Leo's voice is muffled, like he has something in his muzzle. And listen, TJ. He sounds strained. Heather is... Well, she's not that... It's just not a big deal, alright? Okay, I'm gonna go. Talk to you later. See ya. I hear Chase start to snap something at Leo before he hangs up. I drop my phone on the bed next to me and close my eyes, tempted to just fall asleep right then and there. I feel better, though. Chase always had a way of making things seem alright. He offered doing a double date with us, but Heather didn't want to, so it didn't happen. It would have made things a whole lot better. I start to wonder what Chase and Leo might have been doing. He was probably nibbling Chase's ear, and Leo does that a lot. In front of us, too, sometimes. Actually, I think it's kind of cute. My paw drifts down to my crotch, and for the first time in the past few hours, I feel something hard. TJ? I jump as I hear my mom call from downstairs, jerking my paw back. Coming! I quickly sit up and slide off the bed, going downstairs to watch the rest of the game with my family. Hey, yo! Is there anything else I can click on here? Oop, I hit the water. Oh well. That's fine. Oh my god. Hang on, before I go... Okay, what is this? Oh, that's the one that... That's the one that, Okay, so... This is music, this is the CGs, and this... This is something else. Okay. I hope you don't mind the sudden transition here, but I realize that those things are cool and all. I just feel as though maybe I thread them in every other episode or so until we're through with all of them or something. We'll figure that part out. But right now, I'm like barreling towards the climax of like the finale, whatever, of Carl's story here. So I want to get through with that first. So where we last left off on Carl's story, people were having a sick game of Among Us, saying Jenna is sus, and Jenna was like, "No, you," and you know, just all sorts of crazy crap. So I don't know what's really going on here, but let's go ahead and find out. We'll go ahead and just make this a little bit of an extra long episode today. Jenna, he isn't. I promise. You think James kept his promises? Carl and I share a look. Jenna, what do you mean by that? A strange look crosses Jenna's face, breaking out of the stoic detachment she's been portraying for the last however long it's been. It's confused, but it's also like she wants to say something with her mouth open. Jenna? She seems to be frozen, like that of a moment, like that for a moment before she seems to finally give up, shaking her head. I don't know. She glares at Carl. He blanches defensively. What? You keep acting like this is my fault. Maybe it is. This time Raven cuts in before Carl can say anything. Is James stopping John from saying something? I watch Jenna closely, and that's when she finally looks away. I don't know. Jenna, are John and James upset with one another? Jenna shrugs, not looking at me. Carl lets out a sigh of frustration. Jenna, we need to figure this out. Listen, I don't know much about these guys, but it sounds like James and Johns are trying to tell us something. Raven looks back and forth between Carl and Jenna. And trying to stop the other one from telling us something. I rub my face with my hands, feeling frustrated, just wishing these two assholes could tell us what it is that they want to say. So they're trying to tell us something about the past, and they both don't want us to know what the other knows. Yeah, that's kind of what I was picking up a little bit. That's kind of what I was picking up a little bit. Maybe that's what we're supposed to figure out. So it's not as simple as just clearing James's name. John has something to say, too, and he sure as hell wants us to hear it. I close my eyes. We're stuck in the middle of a possessed ghost fight with each of them trying to tell us their version of a story. The whole thing seems ridiculous, insane, but I really don't have anything else to go off of. Did you find anything out about them in the crawl space? I try to think back. Like I've said, they both got convicted of sodomy. John was hanged and James was left to start his ice cream business. So, why wasn't James hanged too? His influence in the town, probably? Well, I can see how that might cause problems between the two of them. I look over to Carl, who's still looking at Jenna. Jenna's picking at the rope in her lap. Hey, did James tell you anything while you were under his influence? Like, did he say anything? Carl rubs his chin. No, not really. It's weird. I just sort of felt different. I said things I wouldn't normally say, but I guess I never heard any voices. There isn't much more to talk about at this point, unless one of the spirits decides to do something else that could help us along somehow. So, what are we supposed to do next, exactly? Raven points at the back of the room. There's a door there. There's a door in the back of the hangman room? Because that's where we are, by the way. Jenna woke up and was about to, like, was being hanged. And Carl had to run in and help Chase. And it was that moment. Like, I feel like there should have been something that happened there. Because James and John are probably aware of what's happening with the people here. And they literally just watched their descendants, like, help each other out. And it's been Carl helping Jenna. I have a feeling that if we go through Jenna's route, we might get something similar, but it's the other way around. But I don't know. That's future, way down the line. But yeah, I don't think there was a door in this room because there was the smell of like decay and rotting coming from this room, so nobody went inside it. Sure enough, there is a door there. It's a concrete door, partially cut out of the wall. It's featureless aside from a rusty metal handle. What? Was that there before? I think I would have seen it the first time I looked in. Jenna stands up, taking a few steps towards the door. What, so we're just gonna go through another door? Carl's laying back down on the floor on his back, staring up at the ceiling again. I can understand where he's coming from. Another door to possibly another nightmare. But his sudden reluctance is making it easier for me to find the strength to keep going. I reach out, resting a hand on his. Carl, this might be the last one. It might be the way out. Carl snorts. Seriously, dude, you think they're just gonna let us go? We've accomplished nothing. We can leave. We can leave you here if you'd prefer. I glare at Jenna, but she's not even looking at me, instead staring at the concrete door. Carl, we have to keep moving. If we go through another door, we're at least going somewhere. Yeah, and besides, the bad stuff has only happened to me and Jenna, so you guys probably have nothing to worry about. God damn it. God damn it, Raven. Oh, you. We can't stay here forever. I gently stroke the back of Carl's furry hand. He laughs again. Maybe we could just keep pulling grilled cheese sandwiches out of the cupboard. Carl props himself up on his elbows. Who knows? Maybe I can get some weed out of there. Carl looks back out into the hallway, apparently seriously considering that. Come on, man. We're all going in together. I guess 2 seconds of life advice here. Warframe had the right idea. We all lift together. If you take a break, that's your problem. If everybody takes a break, that's the company's problem. Don't let it be your problem. You're not the one with an 18-digit bank account. 18-digit bank account. You know what I mean? I reach out, both of my hands to him expectantly since I can't get up on my own. Carl stares at them contemplatively for a moment before he finally gets to his feet while pulling me up onto his back with a loud grunt. Alright, man. But if this freaky spooky ghost dimension goes for another fucking door, I'm gonna pull a joint out of the magic cupboard. Of course. Jenna's already standing in front of the door. Man, I don't want to pass out again. We just did that. I look back towards the hallway. You know, maybe we should check the rest. Jenna reaches forward to grab the metal handle, and before any of us can say anything more, she yanks it open. Oh, here we go! A trail leads through the desert landscape, and cacti and boulders obscure my view on either side. The ground is rocky, and dust kicks up with each step I take. As I continue up the path, I can see the three peaks of Casa Demonio mountains from in front of me. I'm heading towards the town of Echo, just over those mountains. As I get closer, I notice that the trail branches off toward the side of the mountain. I follow the trail with my eyes into the hazy distance, almost disappearing into the heat waves. Still, I can make out a small dark hole. The mine.
Some things should just be left alone.
Dust swirls silently in the mouth of the mine, almost sparkling in the bright noon light.
Every single person here.
Something seems to pulse out from the entrance, sending an almost visible wave through the air.
You will never escape. You will always come back.
Red seeps from the hole, running up the side of the mountain in a wave, turning rock and dust the color of blood.
You'll always be running in circles.
I start jogging up the trail, panting in the desert heat, not sure what I'm doing. The sky in front of me lights up the same ominous red color in the direction of Echo. Somehow, I'm able to scale the side of the mountain in just seconds. I get to the peak and look over the edge. I see the town, but it's not the town I remember. At least, not all of it. Lake Emma is in the distance to the left. The motel and supermarket are to the right. But the ruins by the lake aren't just old foundation remnants anymore. They're fully standing now, with their log walls and roofs. Several dozen more houses run up the side of the lake, standing in stark contrast to the more modern buildings further away toward Main Street. There are even a few buildings that I don't recognize. And there, just below me, is Carl's house. But it's different. The mansion is bigger. The walls are a lighter color. It looks older. Somehow, I'm already there. Like I just teleported straight down to stand on the road in front of Carl's house. I stare down the slope toward the town there. Next to the road is a wooden platform built out under a tree. There's a rope hanging from the tree. A noose. I look back down at the town and all of the different buildings. But no matter which structure I'm looking at, one thing's the same. They're all lit up blood red. I watch as what looks like spinning blades come slowly into focus above me. I tense up, but only for a moment as I realize what it is. A ceiling fan. Wait. A ceiling fan? Isn't that... I sit up quickly, only to immediately swoon as the room starts to spin around me. I grip onto whatever I'm sitting on and happens to be soft and smooth. I look down and see that I'm on top of a blue comforter. To my left, Jenna, Raven, and Carl are stretched out next to me on the king-size bed. To my right, Sunshine streams in front of sliding glass doors, outside of which is a massive desk. Past that are the mountains and the desert of Echo. We're back!